Hello and welcome to episode 3 of 580's podcast, Commerce Circus. Thank you for joining us today for some education and some entertainment. I'm Mike Batiste, joined by my co-host James Dean. Our special guest today is Mike True, founder of Prescient AI. Mike, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. It's good to see you, fellas.
All right, it's good to see you. We're going to start by getting to know how you shop, getting to know Mike True, the shopper. So, know you're in Miami. Want to know a little bit more about your shopping experiences, groceries, you ordering DoorDash, are you building a list, is it getting delivered? Talk to us a little bit about the Mike True shopping experience.
The perishables, meaning food, I have given up my time on the stove, so I've been doing Factor.
Yeah, okay.
Nice.
Yep.
My good buddy Ryan Rouse, shout out to Ryan. He was one of the early founders of Factor, so I'm loyal to them. Amazon, just for like the household necessities. I do use the
Yep.
subscribe and save a lot, and I'm on the road right now, currently spending too much time bouncing around. But I got some Uber Eats here last night at the hotel.
All digital.
All
All digital. I
digital first
love it.
world, baby.
I love it. I love it. All right. So what ads now on your social side and when you do have a minute to breathe, you're scrolling through Instagram, maybe TikTok a little bit. What ads, who's targeting you? What ads are you getting served right now?
Typically, the client that I'm going to meet with tomorrow, because I'm doing some research on
Smart.
that before, and yeah, we're talking with like a baseball bat company later today, and then like a nutrition's company. And I was looking up last night. Boom! First thing I glanced on the gram real quick this morning, and then
Yep. There.
baseball.
Have you bought any of those products?
I,
Any,
that's a good question. Yeah, there's a client called a company called Huel, and
yeah. Okay.
I was before we started working with them. It's more like an athletic greens, if you will.
Yep. Yep.
I ordered, trying to stay in shape on the road all the time. So whatever
Yeah.
nutrition you
Smart.
get.
I see. We get the theme. I love it.
Mike's on all the lists, every analytic report. And then there's just this one guy. We don't
Yeah.
know about him. So, Mike, let's talk about let's zoom in on the AI portion
Of
of
course.
Prescient AI for a second. So, like AI is an industry; it's a rocket ship. It's not necessarily part of everybody's career journey yet, but soon will be. So, I guess like the curiosity, the first question has to be like, what was your career path that led you to founding this company, led you
Yeah.
to AI?
Well, after I parted ways with Jimmy over there after university, I knocked on doors for some payroll platforms, and then wound up doing databases at Oracle, and then found my way onto the Watson team at IBM, which was the little robot that beat Ken Jenners in Jeopardy. I think it was back in
Yeah.
2011, 2012.
Crazy.
And I've been in ever since. And
That's awesome.
it's just been continuously evolving. And then it's democratized to everyday humans. Very similar to like Shopify democratizing the
Yeah.
ability to start an
Yeah.
e-commerce store. You can still now deploy AI models in a similar sense.
I think hanging out with Watson's pretty solid AI credentials
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
far as a career path goes. So was there like a pivotal moment in your career or towards the founding of this company? Right, it's like Twitter had the napkin at the bar. What was the Mike True moment?
I got a little, my last year in the AI space on the enterprise side, I got a little burned out, and I quit and went to New Zealand, Australia. And I'm at a festival, Byron Bay Blues Festival, watching the Lumineers play. And I was like, I'm going to go build an AI company in the music space. And I came back, moved from San Francisco to New York. And here we are today having a podcast with you, and, a startup with 16,
That,
17 million in funding done.
Dude, I could just expense all my festival tickets moving forward.
That's-
It's career development.
It's
Nice.
chestnut checkers, my friend. It's chestnut checkers.
all right. Let's dive into what Prescient AI is. So like let's pretend, we're a little bit on Shark Tank style. Like what is it? What's the problem you're solving? Give us the pitch.
Yeah, it's very simple. It's cross-channel media measurement that looks at your advertising spend It measures how it's impacting your Shopify store, Amazon store, and expanding into other channels like retail, wholesale, and other marketplaces. So really simple. It's a very reliable, accurate model that's not impacted by iOS 14.5, cookie removals. It's what most people would call
Yeah,
similar
what
to
everyone's
a
talking about.
media mix model. And then we have another AI model that tells you exactly how you should reallocate your budget at the campaign level based off of a confidence score and predicted CAC, predicted revenue, predicted ROAS. We're going to be expanding out the KPIs that you can optimize for. So if you think about it, you measure something, you want to make
Yeah.
a decision. We have some AI that helps you make that decision a little bit more confidently.
What's the number one advantage with Prescient AI versus like other platforms out there that do something maybe a little bit similar?
I'm going to give you two.
Okay. All right. Good.
First
Good.
one's quick. The first one's quick. Our onboarding time is point and click, 12 to 16 minutes. We ingest all your data. 36 hours later, your dashboard's ready. No pixels, no
Yeah.
account changes, no data warehousing. What makes us better on the other side? It's the better math. We've been doing it longer. We've been researching the models longer. That's the only thing that matters in these AI and probabilistic for whoever has the best math. And we've
Yeah.
validated that through our venture capital and with our clients, the accuracy of that.
Love it. Who's a dream brand you want to have Prescient AI running or partnered with?
Cuts. Steve Borelli's brand Cuts.
Yeah, okay. I have all their shirts. That's usually my go-to is that shirt for like lounging. And then if there's like a business meeting, I just put like a jacket over top of the cut shirt and I'm like done.
I just traded emails with him this morning, invited him to a golf tournament
Yeah.
in Miami. So I'm getting close. I'm getting
All
close.
right.
I'm
I
going to
love
tag
it.
him. I might tag him on this if it goes on LinkedIn.
Yeah, yeah, done. Definitely, definitely. All right, that's awesome. If walk us through actually a little bit more about Preston. So you just simplified it again. The podcast here is a little bit of education, a little bit of entertainment. Try not to use too much jargon in this, but whether it be with the when you first started the company, with in the music industry, or walk us through like the benefit to a brand in like a simplified kind of example.
In the music industry, you have an artist that is going to release a track on Spotify or an Apple Music. Think
Yep.
of this. Your website has Google Analytics. You get a last click, right?
Yep. Yep.
Spotify and Apple, there's no last click, right? So there's a
Mm.
big gap, right? So if you can't have any user journey or any trackability, how do you measure it? You have to build a statistical model that looks at the relationship between, and it's just pure statistics, right? What is a
Yep.
probability that this spend on these 4 or 5 campaigns that was
Yep.
trying to go promote awareness for Cardi B's song on Spotify, what is the probability that this campaign drove this stream, right?
Yeah. Yep.
We applied, and how do you do that? We got all of Cardi's old songs, we got all of her old campaigns, and we back tested it, right?
Yeah.
Could we predict how the song performed based off of the probabilities of the marketing spend? And if you run enough millions of simulations over and over, the models can get statistically confident in the relationship between your spend and your streams. Now, for
It's
Shopify
crazy.
brands and e-commerce brands, we have a last click. We have
Yeah.
spend, we have impressions, we have clicks, we have sessions, and we have
Yep.
revenue, right? And when we ingest all of your historical data in that 12 to 16 minutes that you click, you're giving us access to no PAI, but all
Yeah.
your historical data. And we back test it against your sales just like we did streams, right?
Awesome.
Until we get statistically confident enough in that relationship.
The thing that I am most excited for is like again, being an early adopter and agency partner with Prescient AI. The first thing that we get challenged with, right, is everything comes back to the financials. It always does, right? Marketing and sales, like it's always been about, let's get very, very creative, but it always comes back to the boardroom, the CFO, and like giving budget, right? And then the marketers internally have to present their case. This is why I need more budget. This is why I need less budget. This is where I'm going to spend my budget, right? So I think for us, like the exciting thing about, Prescient AI is that confidence that you can give to a brand in where they should be spending and the why behind it, which has always been, you've relied on strategy, you've relied on things like reviewing the data. Now with these AI models and having, I think in through some of our earlier conversations, up to like 96%
Yeah.
accuracy, that's mind blowing. That's going to make those internal conversations
Yeah.
like that much. They're like, yeah, sure. Let me know when you need more money. So that's exciting.
It's funny, man. It's like when we interviewed a bunch of marketers before going in here,
Yeah.
is we're building the D2C. I have student loans. I want to get married. I want to buy a car. There's a lot of
Yeah.
personal reasons. And they're like, after I was 14.5, they're like, I show up to work every day and I'm making a bet on my
Yeah.
spend, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just want to feel a little bit more confident that
Yep.
there's going to be a solution that's going to give me some guidance, right?
Yeah.
The marketer is always a source of truth. There's just some intuition that can be
Yeah.
applied through artificial intelligence. But and then that's when we said, all right, let's build this whole platform with confidence scores ripped through the measurement, the forecasting, and
Yeah.
the optimizations. Um, and yeah, man, it's people just want to feel. If you go to a nutritionist and it's like, all
Yeah.
right, well, I'm going to go change my diet. Well, how confident are you that I'm going to lose 10 pounds? Or you go
Yeah.
to a
Get those
doctor.
abs. Get those abs. Yeah,
Yeah, dude,
exactly.
my knee, like, how
Yeah.
confident are you that this surgery, dude? Like, I'm
Yeah.
about to be put under the knife. Like,
Yep. Yep.
40% confident my knee is going to be better in 6 weeks. You
Yeah.
83% confident. Like that, the confidence is tied to every aspect of our lives.
Yeah, no,
That's what makes it
it's
different.
massive. Yeah, it's an exciting opportunity with us with 580 with some of our early stage brands that are putting the media through and the platforms through the system. But I can tell you, again, firsthand, these clients they are looking forward to these meetings, and that's when we can have some fun. Now let's talk about the creative message, the content, the design that's really going to resonate with these customers and increase that return even more. So
Yeah,
it's awesome.
that's the sexy stuff for you guys, right? Like
Yeah,
that
totally.
it's the bread and butter, and it sounds like you guys' bread and butter was always is like, how do we take a brand and how do we get them over to retail, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And
Yep.
there's a big part of that where if they're D2C native in that transition, they have to go there. But the
Yeah.
problem gets inherently more challenging when you say, hey, we need to diversify our advertising channels, we need to
Yeah.
diversify our sales channels,
Yep. Don't
but
cannibalize the business. That's still got to grow.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
yeah, I think
Yeah,
you guys, I think you guys are
operationally,
about
there's always efficiencies to be found too, whether you're taking a brand from digital, from e-commerce into retail, or you're taking them from retail and really increasing their digital
Yeah.
footprint.
that.
Um, you think about how a brand structures, what kind of salespeople they had, new relationships that need to be made with digital properties or with retailers. It can seem incredibly daunting, and I think
Yeah.
being there to kind of help with those operations as well is essential, especially when you can be super efficient in an area like this, where you don't have to spend a lot of time sitting there talking about what worked, where did it come from, is this speculation? Someone's got to make a decision. That's very valuable time that
Yeah.
gets saved. Mike, we are required to ask this question of anybody who works in AI until further notice. They will release some sort of a statement when we can stop asking this question. But we have to ask, what do you believe is next for AI in general?
Within this sector or within just like the state of the world?
Maybe both. I think I think everybody like you should answer within this sector, but I think everybody's like sort of sitting there like, yeah, but like, what does it mean for humanity and the rest of the world as well?
It's for me, it's very simple, and it's part of our vision and passion. Is automation will based on confidence scores, right?
Yeah.
And that's not just across media buying, right? Because if you think about automation historically, just call marketing for example. Hey, automate an email or a text if a user or a customer is likely to churn, right?
Yep.
Or
Yep.
if they haven't ordered sneakers when they normally order sneakers every year and they didn't order this year, send an email.
Yeah.
But the automation is going to move to outcome based. It's confidence in
Yeah.
an outcome, just like you talked about, Jimmy. It's
Yep.
the
Yep.
board meeting are talking about outcomes. They're not talking about brand awareness and
Right.
impressions
Right.
anymore. So I think confidence based automation is going to be play a key role. I think it's important to address that. All things that are going to do amazing things in the medical field and
Yeah.
do things with like literacy and education. But I also think it's important to like acknowledge what's coming and take it head on and get ahead of the game instead of shying away from something and simply sweeping it under the rug.
Absolutely.
I'm one of the advocates of creating AI that is going to automate a lot of things, and so I'm a supporter of both sides.
Yeah, that's good. We got to keep spreading that message. Thank you for sharing your journey, your perspective with us
Let's
here
go.
today.
It's fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, you and your team are really building something remarkable. So, I mean, on behalf of consumers and the industry at large, thank you for creating better shopper experiences. That's important to us. And thank you all for joining us today here on the Commerce Circus.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Mike.